All right, we got a little video here put out by Color Up, Jeremy. Dice physics study. The following is a slow motion capture of a dice tossing session. First of all, Jeremy, I'm going to ask you, who's tossing the dice? If it's you, you got no control. And two, the dice were purposely thrown from different angles and to various landing zones. So, right there, you've already shot yourself in the foot. I have not seen this video ever in my life, but right there, you're already telling me you're going to throw it from different angles into different landing zones. The dice influencer does not do that. He or she repeats the toss over and over and over as best as they humanly can. All right, so let's take a watch. Let's see what's going on, how this works out. I'm kind of curious to see how he's going to play it out because, number one, if you're going to do this, you need somebody that has some capability of influencing the dice, hitting the same thing over and over and over. And let's face it, Jeremy doesn't believe in dice influence anyway. So let's see what happens. Get over here to the reaction side. There we go. That's what I was just reading for you. I'll move myself around as we need to when it gets to the right screen. Now, one thing I've always said, you see you've got two dice coming in a little bit of a different elevation. One's a little bit higher or ahead of the other than, that kind of thing. But it's always been my philosophy that most of the violence, not all, but most of the violence, and he's not hitting the wall square, I can tell that already, but anyway, most of the violence occurs between the time the dice hit the deck of the table and before they hit the pyramids. Let's kind of see if that kind of holds true with his. That's kind of what I've always felt like and what I've seen on slow motion. A lot of violence to the left. So if you don't hit those triangles square enough, you're going to get an issue. And it ain't easy. It ain't easy. A lot of violence going into the wall there. I love it. That left die kicked right straight back. All right. If I could back that up without boring y'all, I would, but those dice landed on their edges. He's not landing them square. So, again, I'm going to say this is kind of an unfair test. Whoa, right in the chips. Okay, moving them way further out. Oh, this dice up here, it hit the wall up here. That's not a controlled shot. That's the stuff that aggravates me. I'm just going to be honest with you. Because I know it's a highly controversial topic. Who the hell cares? Who the hell cares how badly a dice reacts when you hit the pyramid instead of the table? If you're a practicing player, you're not practicing your results for hitting a bad shot, for tossing a bad shot. You're trying to practice repetitive shots, landing the dice on the table, not into the frickin' pyramid, and then don't do it again because you're not going to get a good result. You're definitely going to get some violence off that wall then. 7. Look at that. Boom, right on the chip. Maybe you should hit the chip more because they didn't hit the pyramid. See, these tosses right here, they're coming in low, well out, and not really hitting into the pyramid. Now those tumbled into each other. Need a little bit better target practice, but I get what you're trying to do. Uh-oh, right on top of the chip. 639. Oh, Taco Bell commercial. Oh, let's throw him right on top of those. All right, so he's changed his landing zone and position like he said he was going to. Clanged into each other. I hate it when that happens. Whoa, 5-2. Isn't that funny? It was up on his edge, went to a 5-2. 4-3. Maybe you ought to quit hitting them green chips there, dude. There you go. Didn't hit them that time. Hey, hard 6. Good advice there, Ed. Six, 5. Y'all see, one thing I want you to notice, and you're going to go back, those last 2 shots, he's landing out there about where the pass line is. Everybody knows Jeremy doesn't really go with the dice influence thing at all. And that's okay. He's just doing us a slow motion video here. But there was no violence off the wall because he landed that when they got to the wall, the energy had been expended, and they landed right up against the bottom rubber of that pyramid wall. Up into the wall a little bit. 5-3-8. So I'm still thinking most of the violence occurs from here to there. After that, the energy is kind of extended. Oh, right on the chips. Snuggled right up against that bottom rail, though. Up into the wall a little bit. Chips, bet chip. 5-3-8 again. That's 4 8s in a row there. He's got a little more influence than we thought, maybe. There's another 8. Look at that. Yeah, he wants to hit that in. A little deep. Aces. I'm just going to turn that music off. He's not talking. Those landed on their edges. They're going everywhere. 3-1-4. But watch the violence from the wall, from the landing to the wall, and then the violence kind of reduces. Boom, a little high, but they still just kind of drop. Tumble, but they drop. Right up against the rubber. Hey, that's my shot. I do that a lot. Six, 2, 8. There's a lot of daggum 8s in this hand. Whew. 3-2-5. Nope. He said it was a 7. Thought I saw a 3-2. Must have been a 5-2. Continuing on. Hard 6. Same shooter going. No reaction off that bot. Look at that. Oh, stop. Whoop. Let me back that up just a hair. Let me back that up. Let's do that one again. Had a hard 6. The next dice come in. Watch. Got a 4 and a 1 coming down. Left die and right die are both coming in on their edges, but they hit right at the base of the wall, uninfluenced, basically uninfluenced by the wall, other than they just had to hit that bottom piece. That's a good illustration there, Jeremy. On their edges. Hard 8. Man, look at all them 8s. Oh, we got caught up in the chips. Got caught up in the chips. 6-4. Whew. Little pirouette. 12. Midnight. Dolly Parton. Three, 1, 4. All right. We'll kind of stop it right there. I just want to say, I didn't even know this video was out there. I would have used it before. But it's hard to figure out what he's trying to explain. Obviously, we know that the maker of the video is not in a dice influence or dice control. I don't even know if he's setting the dice. We can't see anything other than the reaction here on the table. He has, if he's really, really trying to influence the dice, he's got to work on his target practice, because his hand-eye coordinate, if he's trying to hit that in on that line, he was having a hard time. I know he pounded on it a couple of times. So it takes practice. And quite frankly, a lot of people, most people, almost all people, don't put in the effort. They don't put in the time to try to get the mechanics down right on their toss. I'm going to kind of end it there. You go out there and find this video. It's not hard to find. I just stumbled on it. Shoot. He's got another 7 minutes to go. I'm not gonna bore y'all with another 7 minutes of slow motion dice landing. But if you want to go watch it, do it. I think you'll find that you might end up agreeing with me that most of the violence occurs from impact on the table till it hits the wall. By the time it hits the wall, most of the energy is kind of extended. But what you really want to do, folks, and I want y'all to think about this. Those pyramids are cut at 45-degree angles. Your dice are 90-degree angles. You can pick up any dice and you can take it in there, and if you stick it in there, it fits perfectly. And so then it drops down. The other option is it lands square and does not go into the pyramids like it would if you took the cut edge and you slid it right in there, it would fit perfectly into those pyramids. That way, if that happened, you would have less reaction off the pyramid. If it lands square to the pyramid, you're going to have less reaction, squirrely reaction from the pyramid. Anyway, thought that was an interesting little video. Y'all have a good time watching more of it if you want to. I'm going to cut it right there. I don't need to watch another 7 minutes of slow motion video. Practice like you play like you practice. Go roll to win. Be sure and listen to the podcast. Casino Tears drops every Tuesday on your favorite podcast app. We thank each and every one of you that watch us and support us on our Patreon channels. Y'all have a good night.